Morning, guys. This is real late, but it's better than nothing at all. This is Miss Keish with Journey of the Word Ministries, home of every name known to God, where we nurture relationship over religion and all are welcome, regardless of their belief. Just ahead of time, my voice might crack or go away. I'm not feeling too good, so I'm going to apologize now. So today we're just going to be talking about the older generation and the younger generation. A lot of us will say we're not role models. It's not our responsibility. You hear a lot of people in the media saying that. You hear a lot of older adults just washing the hands of the youth, saying we don't know where they got their behavior from. These millennials are just ridiculous. Um, that they're off to a wrong path. But if you look around, they got their behaviors from us. We're not setting any examples, and everyone is a role model. Everyone that is honoring what God has asked us to do, because all are disciple of Christ. And some, the only Bible they get to see is you. They may not look at a Bible. They might not know the word, but your living example will be. Titus 2, verses 2 through 3 says, teach the older men to be sober-minded, to be temperate, worthy of respect, self-controlled, and sound in faith, in love, and in endurance. Likewise, teach the older women to be reverent in the way they live, not to be slanderers or addicted to too much wine, but to teach what is good. So, older men, sober-minded. Not much of our society is sober at all. The children are using new wave drugs and all kind of popping pills and snorting and sniffing, and the older adults are too, with excuses for why they're doing it. But and now we don't call it drug addiction or being a drug addict or a fiend. It's just something to do. If the older generation isn't remaining sober minded, then how can sorry for the interruption, guys. If the older generation isn't remaining sober minded, then how can we expect the younger generation to? And they're out here doing things that we've never heard of, affecting them in ways that their mind can't work right. Be temperate. Society doesn't teach a man to be temperate at all. Most men, especially minority men, lose their temper rather quickly. Um, we lack self-control, especially in positions of anger. They're supposed to be worthy of respect. We don't teach them by example to be worthy of respect. Men lose their temper and go 0 to a 100 really quick. They don't show the young men these days how to speak with their mind first, not to let their emotions overrule them, to calm themselves. And men these days are showing the younger boys that show of their temper, that anger that they're exhibiting, is an act of manhood, when the word is telling us it's not. And in order to be worthy of respect, you have to do something to earn someone's respect, not put down on them, not beat them up, not take from them, not dominate over them. There's a difference between fear and respect. Respect is something that you give someone who has earned a place of honor. Respect is someone that you give someone who carries himself in a specific manner. But we don't have an older generation of males carrying themselves for the young boys to look up to. They are exhibiting, you'll call a man the average street thug and call a man that's working hard to take care of his family and doing things the right way pathetic. I'm just trying to use a non uh, a better word than what's usually used. Sound in faith. We know that most men, and I'm sorry, you don't find most men in the church with the women. So how can you sound in faith when you don't go where you need to be going? Um, Love and endurance. So the love part, men in our society, period, we don't teach men to be loving. We teach women to be loving. We don't teach men to be loving because that views them as soft. But if the word is telling us that an older, wiser, more respectable man should have self-control and be sound in faith, meaning he should show up in the church, meaning he should have a relationship with God, meaning he should study his word, meaning he should pray, and that he should exhibit love, just like God is love and love is God. So if you exhibit a certain amount of love to everyone, no matter what, there's different levels of love. Everything is not about being in a relationship. Then you will be on your way to the man described in Titus. Endurance, that struck me because it's saying that you have to be able to be in it for the long haul. You have to be willing to put your foot in. You have to be able to last. And with all the duties that a man has on him, I mean, he virtually has the weight of the world on his shoulder. He has to set an example. He has to protect. He has to cover. That's what his intent was. And society has flipped everything around. So older men start picking up that staff and setting example and taking up your responsibility. I'm going to move on to likewise teach the older women to be reverent in the way they live. Reverent in the way you live. They are telling you to seek to live a life approved by God, to carry yourself in a manner which God wouldn't be disappointed in, to have morals, to have guidelines to how you dress, what you say, how you act, who you're around. These young women are running around barely clothed, sleeping with any and everybody, not taking care of their children properly, not having a relationship with God, showing no respect to themselves, because the older women are running around doing it. They're not reverent in any way. They're not showing any holiness. They're not showing any concern in their day-to-day life with God. And on Sunday is not enough, guys. Women have a very big problem with slandering, gossiping, talking about people. It says, live not to be slanderers. We need to stop running our mouth about everyone else's business. We need to stop speaking on the next man like we know what is going on. Women, you have too much responsibility. You're supposed to nurture, care, lead, assist, guide. We're not supposed to be sitting up talking about what's going on in the next household. That's not any of our business anyway. You shouldn't have time to sit down and talk about someone else's business. If you ain't helping them or praying for them, then you need to just be quiet. Women always have something to say. Women always want to spill the tea. Women always want to add something. No, stop doing that. It specifically tells us older women that we should set an example in the way that we behave, and we should not be slanderers. Just like it tells a man to have a sober mind so that he can be level-headed, we are not to be addicted to too much wine. So we should not be drinking. We should not be putting ourselves in a situation where we're constantly having a drink every week, every day. You can't be having a sober mind if you're addicted to too much wine. A woman shall not be a drunk. It's not a sin to drink. It's a sin to be drunk in. And if a woman partakes in too much drink, what do you think is going to happen? How do you think she's going to be? She's not going to have a level head. She's not going to have a clear mind. She's probably going to be running her mouth 40 going north, and she won't be able to carry herself in a proper manner because she's intoxicated. It also says that a woman's responsibility is to teach what is good. So older women, we have to move away from our bitterness, our anger, our animosities, and start teaching people the proper way to do things, the proper way to handle them. Even if you didn't handle it that way, even if you didn't have the opportunity to not make that mistake, women, don't teach the younger generation, the younger version of us, the wrong way. Only teach that which is pleasing to God. Only teach that which is not gonna offend our true natures. We have to stop breeding sin into this world, you guys. We have to stop letting the devil have a foothold on us. And it's going to start with the older generation, because let's be honest, the younger ladies and men, they don't have anybody to look up to because we're not worth looking up to. What are we doing? We're telling them to believe in God and to study the Bible. We're dishing all these things out to them, but we're not living in them. When they're looking at us, they're saying, what good did it do you? They don't want to be like us at all, or like what we're spitting out of our mouths, but our mouths are not reflecting that. It's not sincere. It doesn't match up with our heart because we're sidestepping. We're not having patience. We're not being kind. We're not being loving. We're not being sober. We're not staying away from wine. We're not worthy of respect. We're not self-control. We don't have endurance. We don't have faith. We don't have love. We're talking about everybody's business, and we're failing to teach the right way because we're stuck in the fact that we're doing it. I guarantee you that if you are fully honest with those that you have the ability to influence, that, hey, this is what is right. I have not learned to master this yet, but I'm sharing this with you out of love. And I didn't have this growing up. This is why I'm in this position I am in now. I'm not in this position because I'm doing all the things that I'm telling you to do. I'm in this position because I haven't done all the things I'm telling you to do. And I'm trying to save you from the same mistakes that I made. Yes, the younger generation is still going to make mistakes, but if we don't sow the seeds into them to lead them away in which they should go, if we don't start setting an example for them, a living, fleshly example, They're going to lose. We're going to lose because that's our future. So what will you have? I'm begging you to study Titus 2, 2 and 3, and call yourself to be a living example, to be a role model, to be a mentor, and to do it all with the Holy Spirit filling you, encouraging of the Word of God. And hopefully soon it'll be something that people are able to express in a much better manner, and they'll be able to catch themselves in the mistakes that they make and the mistakes that you make. And hopefully you can learn to be honest with your children, with your relatives, with your friends and family that you're wanting to influence about the errors of your ways and how you still need to correct them, but you do deep down know that this is the right way. Stay blessed, and thank you for joining me at Journey of the Word Ministries. Have a great day.